Ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is how you know the opioid plague is so bad in America. It's now being addressed in a forum that kids can relate to. I mean, just think about it. What better place is there to get a child to relate to something than Sesame Street? Well, I'm not surprised. Over the years, I've done many stories with parents high in the front seat and children and infants in the back seat. So, whether you like it or not, many of these children out here have already been exposed and around their parents and relatives that are strung out on drugs. And many have even overdosed from a parent leaving drugs around and the children having access to it. So, I do agree. It's now part of the culture. It's been around for so long. You're talking about something that's been around for 20 years now. So, this is Newsweek, October 10th, 2019. Sesame Street addresses opioid plague as Muppet Carly reveals mom is a recovering addict. Sesame Street is addressing the opioid plague in a way that children can understand, with new Muppet Carly revealing in a new online only segment that her mom is a recovering addict. In the clip, released Wednesday as part of Sesame Street outreach project Sesame Street in Communities, Carly reveals to Elmo and human Chris that her mom is at a recovery meeting. Chris explains to Elmo that Carly's mom has been having a hard time and going to meetings to help her get better. The segment uses language that is easy to understand for Sesame Street's young demographic. Okay. Bright green Muppet Carly tells Elmo that my mom needs help learning to take better care of herself, so she talks to people with the same problem. Carly also explains that she goes to meetings for children whose parents all have the same problem. In another segment, Carly meets a young girl called Salia, whose mom and dad have the same problem as my mom, addiction. When my mom was having a hard time, I had a lot of big feelings. I feel like I was the only one. But now I've met other kids like Salia, and we talk about it together, Carly says, introducing a clip of Salia 10, talking about her parents' addiction. Addiction is a sickness. Well, it was a crime back during the crack epidemic, but let's go on. Addiction is getting attracted to something, so you keep doing it over and over again. It makes people feel like they need drugs and alcohol to feel okay, explains Salia. Uh, Addiction is often seen as a grown up issue, but it impacts children in ways that aren't always visible. Having a parent battling addiction can be one of the most isolating and stressful situations young children and their families face, said Sherry Weston, president of Social Impact and Philanthropy at Sesame Workshop, in a statement. Sesame Street has always been a source of comfort to children during the toughest times, and our new resources are designed to break down the stigma of a parental addiction and help families build hope for the future. The socially charged storyline is just Sesame Workshop's latest tackle, big issue that might affect children. But you know what? They always have. They always have. For everything we've done from military families to homelessness, it's all about how to make children free to talk and to give parents the tools to do that. They tend to avoid it, and It's what they need more than anything, Weston told the Associated Press. Very true. Carly, voiced by Harley Jenkins, was introduced in May as part of the Sesame Street's effort to educate children about foster care. Carly first appeared in the care of her foster parents, Dahlia and Clem, and now viewers will learn why she was in care. Sesame Street released segments to support both children in foster care and their foster parents to facilitate positive relationships. Okay. All right, y'all. But I remember Sesame Street doing things like that even when I was growing up. They've been on the air for a long time. And a lot of people don't even know Sesame Street was a black creation. Yes, it was. One of many things you don't learn in this society for very obvious reasons. This is what happens when people try to tell you they did everything and you've done nothing. But when you go digging for the information, you find that everything they told you is a lie. It's a black creation, ladies and gentlemen. But please tell me what you think. I'm not surprised that they are tackling this for children because, let's face it, many of these children that have alcoholic and parents that are drug addicts, they see this stuff. They see it in the household all the time. On my mother's side of the family, my grandfather was an alcoholic. She told me she saw him all the time stretched out on the floor. And sometimes they would get mad at him for being that way. And while he was stretched out on the floor, they would get all his money out of his pocket and go buy a bunch of candy. And of course, when he woke up, he was all upset because all of his money was gone. But, you know, people have those experiences because I remember talking about that with my mother, about she didn't like the fact that her father drank too much and he was drunk. And that bothered her when she was growing up. But she said, after a while, they just learned how to deal with it. So he never went through any rehab or anything. The only thing that stopped him, he was a double amputee, so he was not able to get to the liquor anymore. So that was his rehab right there. So that was it. But, it does take a toll on the children, and especially when you look at foster care in America. Foster care is filled with these children of drug addicted parents. And the sad part is they do have family members. And, and those family members are not stepping up for them at all, you know? And so many of these children will probably turn 18 and not be placed in a home, you know? And right now, all over the country, they are begging for more foster parents. They want more people to step up, and people are simply not doing it. But y'all, please tell me what you think about Sesame Street taking on opioids. Well, I guess it had to happen sooner or later. I'm surprised we're not seeing more cartoons. Even like how you always have all the cartoons, especially Saturday. I'm surprised more of them are not tackling the issue of opioids. Maybe some of them have, and I just haven't seen it. I'm just saying I'm surprised because a lot of times they will incorporate that even in cartoons as well. But hey, it is what it is. And we know the addiction is not going away anytime soon. In fact, I don't believe it's ever going to go away, but it's something they are not admitting. But how do you beat a 20-year addiction? And they said this one is the worst that ever occurred in America. Even the ones previous to this one were not quite this bad. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.